So these are cabbages that I grew in my yard, and these are broccoli greens, and these are radishes that grew in the yard. So I'm going to cut these radishes here and replant that. And so we're going to use this in our greens today. As you can see, all of this goes back and turns to lovely, rich soil that you can reuse in the garden, and it smells amazing. I don't put flesh in here, just vegetables and fruits and eggshells for calcium, so that the plants have a little more nutrients than the regular dirt that you buy at the store. And I toss it in. Here's a fistful of the radish greens that we're going to add to our mixture that is simmering. So what I've done is, this is the pot that we were using. We pulled the bones out of the broth, and we started to layer the cabbage in the pot, and as it cooks down, we'll add more to it. And eventually I'm going to have so much that I'm going to freeze some of it. And we can freeze it in portions so that on the night you feel like cabbage, just pull one out. You can also pull one out and make soup with it. So this is a great base. Right now we're going to start doing our garlic rice. Okay, so this is my strainer, and I am going to add rice to be washed, 3 cups. And I'm using medium grain rice. Hold on. Now we're going to wash the rice. Okay, so in our pot, we've added our homemade butter. We've added onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of chicken bouillon. Now I'm going to add water, cover the rice, and let it sit until it's done. The greens, as you can see, are starting to show that they're starting to soften up, and that's a good thing. It's starting to go down, and the rice is starting to brown. And as you can see here, I'm going to add my water. Beautiful. Just till it reaches over. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. Then I'm going to cover it and keep it on a medium heat. Okay, rice is coming to simmer. Here, we're going to turn our greens over. Let the fresh ones go underneath. And the ones that are softening up at the bottom, they can come to the top. See? Beautiful greens. Remember the stems that I put in here? They're so tender that they're fork tender. They snap like little potatoes. They're delicious. Waste nothing. Waste not, want not. That's how we were raised. My mom would always say, there's children starving in Africa. There was some truth to that. So I've become very mindful throughout the years not to be wasteful. And I freeze what I don't use so I can use it at a later date. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful pot of cabbage? And then our rice just needs to be turned once. She needs to be covered. I'm going to lower her flame and let her cook and let this do what it does, and then I'll come back and season and fry up those pork chops. I forgot to tell you that I added a little white vinegar and a little sugar. My late mother-in-law taught me how to do that little twist. And then we're just going to let these get a little softer, and they're ready. And the rice is fluffy and perfect. Look at that. Very good. Now all I have to do is season the chops and call my husband to dinner. So in here we have garlic, we have anato, we have white pepper, salt, and we have cumin. And I'm going to lightly spray the chops with olive oil. I'm going to mix my rub. And lightly sprinkle each chop, well, actually generously, because this cut of meat can be very bland. It doesn't have the bone, but it is very flavorful if cooked at the right temperature and you let that glaze start happening to the fat. Is good. Está bueno. We're going to spray this side, and that'll help us since this is a very lean piece of pork. And then we're going to bounce them and rub them off together. Like so. Get that seasoning all over. And bounce it like so. There. And then we'll let these rest for a little bit. Give them a little extra glaze of olive oil. You can add adobo. You can add whatever seasoning you like. And get ready to fry them in a hot skillet. So I have annatto oil in my hot pan, and the chuchuletas are sizzling. We're going to get them nice and crusty on the other side. We'll flip them, and then depending on how I'm feeling, we might throw them in the air fryer. We might let them finish here. I just don't want them to get too dry. One of the things I like to do with these loin chops are to surround them with nice thick cut bacon so that the bacon can add to the moisture of the loin chops. And then you take the bacon once it's crispy and put it on top of your served cabbage as a presentation.